So what you will notice is like we have a lot of new products, especially in the commercial environments. Like we're expanding our commercial line, but we are trying to make sure that like people realize that we're not letting go of the residential. Is one of our core features, like, and been around for a while, so we got a lot of products here. And in the residentials, like we have the Pro 24Z, which you're very familiar with. We're now going to offer that in a satin finish. That ties into like what we're trying to do is amalgamate the RTI with the Pro Control, have them both together, so I can kind of cross-reference them much better. We're going to have, obviously right now you can program the Pro 24Z in Apex. So that's the first step. This is the second step, so like where you kind of see it matches the line now much better. All right, so you're very familiar now, I'm sure, with the XP8V, one of our latest processors, with the uprated memory, the faster processor, and then like the on-screen graphics from the HDMI output. What you will notice here is the XP6S, which is now the latest generation of the 6. Same thing again, so faster processor, more memory, but also now in a rack mountable, which is something that people have been asking for some time. You can still mount it in the same way as the original XP6, and it's like just mount it to a wall, or you can now do the rack mount.
Well, okay, so the majority of our systems you're going to see is, and what Nexus 21 does is our lift systems. So everything has a 10-year warranty behind it, so very, very quiet, very, very reliable. Once the lift's installed, you're never going to have an issue. So that's really nice for distribution and our AV dealers and stuff, because they know once they install it, they don't have to roll a truck to go out and fix anything. So this is a manual option. This can be used in a couple different ways too. Obviously it can be used to bring the TV down over the fireplace. So the TV can actually come way down here, really nice viewing angle. You can also use it, you can pre-adjust the tension on this too, to allow the TV to just float. And what this will do is this allows you to get the TV to rotate as far as possible. So if you have like a seating area on the other side, you can also just use this to move the TV out away from the wall. It does have a 3-point swivel. So this one right now, we're in the center of the swivel. You can also do the left or right hand side and get more of an articulation away from that mount too. So that's nice. There's two options, there's two ways this is sold. This is sold either as a surface version or as an in-wall box. And this is, we're showing the in-wall box on this one. That essentially just pulls that TV close to the wall when it's in the retracted state. That's really all what it does. So makes that smooth. This will do up to about a 75-inch screen. On this one, it doesn't really matter what size screen, it's just a weight. So it's 125 pounds, roughly like 60 kilos, I think.
So this year at ISE, what we are showing is the final shipping version of the Valley, the system where we can power the dots and take audio out of the dots and give audio distribution throughout the house from the Amazon dot. So it's the final, it's shipping right now, the final version of the Valley amplifier. You have 4 zones, so 4 dots in a house. You can distribute audio throughout the property. You also can have your local source input on each one of the zones. And we have a really cool technology that we patented where it will mute the local source every time you interact with the Valley amplifier in terms of the dot. So every time you speak to the dot, it will mute the local source so that you can interact with Alexa cleanly. Have our zip clip mounting system with a ring adapter. The Balum that we designed will power it via Cat5, and now you can power and take audio out of the dot. Another new from Origin is the new sound bars. These are also ready to be shipped by the end of February, and we have changed it from the first iteration, which was at CDF, from grey to black, because the market told us that they wanted black. So we have the SB3, SB1 and SB.5, and what it is 3 LCRs, 1 LCR and half an LCR. Another new product from Origin is our new Explorer collection, and this is dedicated to our marine environment or any harsh environments. What we've done is we've listened to our dealers that said that they needed a rubber and silicone ring to go around our zip clip system so that water couldn't go in, and also a sealing on the actual speaker. So that's exactly what we've done. So it's the first marine speaker that actually has a sealant around the fitting so that no water will go in when when the yacht or the house is being washed. So this can actually be hosed down. It's exactly the same fitting as our Director series, and you just put it in and clip that in. On a yacht, obviously this is very important because you can also have you can also have a Wi-Fi router or an Apple TV behind. The speaker goes in and seals it off. So this now is a complete seal because we've cut the rubber at an angle, and there's the rubber ring around the zip clip system as well. So this is now sealed. We applied extra rubber on the pivoting speaker. This is a fun fact, but it's the first pivoting speaker for a marine environment. Normally you get 2 options from other manufacturers. We actually made 6 different options from 6 inches to 8 inches. They all use the same hole size, and then you can go up to the 10-inch, and we also have an in-wall. Everything being treated with our WeatherX treatment. So we have a 10-year warranty on absolutely everything, including the grill.
Screen Innovations as a company was founded for one reason: to bring projectors out of dark rooms. That was what this was all about. So we were founded on the principle of materials that make projectors look best. And the key to that is contrast. And contrast is the most important part of an image. Without contrast, you have nothing. You have washed out. It's like taking a red shirt and washing it in hot water 50 times. It gets very pink and washed out. So contrast is king. The best way to make contrast is to have bright whites and black blacks. But how do you get black on a white screen with a bulb? You can't. So a projector bulb, that's all a projector can do, is make light and color. So if you start out with a material that is white, the blackest black you will get on that material is white. And it's interesting when you actually see how it's done, and the eyes and the perception of the mind and all of that. But it does a very nice job as long as you don't have too much light in the room. So the key element to getting the best is to either go with a very good quality white material and turn the lights off and paint the ceiling black and put in black carpet and black walls. And that's it. How many people do that? It just doesn't happen. In the United States, I know less than 5% have dedicated rooms for this. And in a commercial environment, it's never that way. So in most environments, what you want is good, rich color, and at the same time have some light in the room, and at the same time have the contrast. So what we came up with in the beginning was the product called Black Diamond. Now, Black Diamond went through a lot of changes. We introduced it in 2006. But what's great about Black Diamond is it's quite a dark material. Now, it's hard to tell when you've got all this light around because it reflects light very well. But the key to Black Diamond is if you look at your shadow in it, it's quite dark. So you have rich blacks. But at the same time, when the light hits this, a white light will come back white. It's the whitest reflection you can get out of a dark material. And that's what makes this really interesting. The way we get it is the way the product is designed. So what you can see is with a sharp white light, you get a pretty good white reflection.
Wireless routers, they have built into them a controller, and what the controller does is it manages the hand between access points. So anytime I have more than one access point, so if I have 2, 3, 4, 5 access points, I have a roaming issue. You guys know what roaming is? So basically, you walk in, your mobile device connects to one of those access points, and then it's stuck on that access point without a controller. With the controller, it monitors that access point, and it monitors that client by signal strength, and as I get closer and closer to the other access point, the next access point, it'll say, hey, you're on the wrong access point, let's move you over to the better access point. And that's actually something that's very unique, it's very important because that mobile device is not just our phone anymore, it's now our control device for my audio system, my video system, my home control, all those things. And when it's stuck on an access point where it's getting enough signal to maintain a connection, but not actually be functioning, that's a big problem. So with the built-in controller here, what it'll do is it'll take up this one plus 2 access points, and it'll make that a seamless roaming system within those 3 access points. On this smaller one, it is limited to just 2 more access points. The full-blown controller you see over here, you can do up to 16 access points. So here's our main access points you'll see here in the UK, starting at the 810 and the 1410. Those are basically almost the same products. This is a new entry in the market. It is dual band AC. They're all at the 100 milliwatt limit. The only increase you get on the 1410 versus the 810 is more processing power. I can then support more clients. So I can have up to 75 to 100 devices connected here, where here I'm probably up to about 50 devices. But typically in residential, 50 devices per access point is probably going to be no problem at all. 2x2, 2x2, a 3x3. Basically that's a measure of MIMO, which is a measure of speed. I have 3 antennas speaking all at once. I can do more speed than I can when I only have 2 antennas speaking at a time. Then we have an outdoor version, put it out to cover the backyard, the pool area, the tennis court, etc. And that's going to allow that outdoor. It is compatible with the controller. So as I take my client device from the indoors to the outdoors, that roam will jump between access points automatically, right? Okay. The other thing we're doing on these is we now include domotes. You guys familiar with domotes? So domotes, remote monitoring and management, that is now included on the routers, both the 3150 and the 4500. On the 5000, it'll be out the end of March is the schedule for that.
It's our presence detector. It's a laser scanner that can cover up to 25 by 25 meters, and it can be used as a virtual wall or as a virtual ceiling. The one thing with the lasers is we can program them to within 10 centimeters, so extremely accurate. The laser works on time of flight, so it knows exactly where we're positioned. And as you can see from the demo software on here, we've got 2 zones programmed, the red and the blue box. So the laser's actually picking up everybody moving around in the area. It's only once we cross that red line or the blue line that the actual unit will trigger. You see the LEDs change to red as we're in both zones now. As we move out,